this module, we'll demonstrate how to repair or replace a faulty brine valve. The symptoms include salty service water, excessive salt use, or overfilling brine tank. On the 7000 valve, the brine valve is located under the cover and on the top. Using a screwdriver, we press in to see if we can clear the debris. If this fixes it, everything is good. If it doesn't, replace the valve. To remove the brine valve from a 7000 valve, you need to remove the power head. We start by removing the front screw that holds the circuit board to the front. We can then remove the motor cable, the power cable, and if yours is installed with a meter cable. We can then press the circuit board over and forward to remove it. We then move to the components at the top of the valve. This unit has an auxiliary switch installed. We begin by loosening up and removing the screw that is towards the front. The screw that is towards the rear we will loosen so that we can rotate the switch out of the way. On the top we have our brine cam. In the service position, the arrow will be pointed towards the rear, and we need to line this arrow up with the arrow that is on the rib. Using either a nut driver or a wrench of 3/8 size, we will rotate this around. Once we have that lined up, we can remove our brine cam. We will press in on the tab and pull upward. Using either a fingernail or a slotted screwdriver, we will slightly press in the brine valve so that we can remove it. Next, we move to the components at the bottom of the power head. We can untuck our cables for both the power and the meter. Next to them is the screw that holds the power head to the back plate. This screw is the same size as is used to hold the circuit board to the front of the unit. Newer units will have a screw that holds the piston to the bottom of the drive assembly. You will next need to remove that. We can now try to remove the power head. We pull up on the tabs, pulling forward and up. The power head can now be set aside. We can remove our cables to make things easier for the rest of the removal, just by tucking them back through the back plate. Next we have 4 screws to remove, 1 up at the brine valve and 3 down by the main piston. We align the top of the piston in order to make sure it will go through the back plate. We now have access to our main piston and our brine valve. The brine valve can be removed by pulling forward. When it is removed, we can inspect the O-ring as well as the seal assembly to make sure there is no debris or damage to the O-ring. Inside the body, there is also another O-ring. We want to remove this and check to make sure there is no damage or debris that is caught on it. When we reassemble parts, we want to use the approved silicone lubricant for all moving parts. We reinstall the components in the reverse assembly. When we look at the brine valves, we want to make sure that we match them up for the correct size. The 7000 has a longer stem. Comparably, the unit that is next to it is for the 5600 and is shorter. This valve would not contact the cam properly, so should not be used. The other style valve that we have has a notch at the top. This is also not as long and is normally used on our 9000 series of valves. We add the lubricant to the O-rings and reinstall. We can now reinstall our power head on the valve. Thanks for watching.